Hey there, good afternoon. It's Brendan with Remax Kelowna, and I want to talk to you today about properties that are on native land and leasehold properties. I was in a great seminar yesterday. One of the lawyers in town came in and talked to us, gave us realtors some important information, things we need to be aware of when we're working with clients that are purchasing homes on native land. It's a different set of rules, and I thought I'd share some of the key points here. When you're purchasing a freehold property, you own that land. That land can stay in your family for generations. It can be passed from parent to children to children to children and so on. It can stay in your family forever. The only person that has any right to that property is the Crown, just for mineral rights and that sort of thing. Or the bank can take it if you quit making your payments, but essentially it stays with you forever. Leasehold property is very different. Your rights to that property are governed by the lease that is on it. So a lot of times there'll be a head lease, and then there can be a sublease, there can be a couple subleases, and it's important definitely that you take the time to read those leases. It's a long, dry read, hundreds of pages in a lot of cases, but you got to do it. You need to know what you're purchasing. The rights of that property are governed by the lease, and if you don't know what is in that lease, you don't know what you're buying. So keep that in mind. Also, when you're purchasing leasehold property, you're going to want to allow extra time for your subject removal period. With freehold land, you can remove your subjects probably in a week to 10 days, no problem. With leasehold, it's different. You're going to want at least 2 to 3 weeks to remove your conditions. So a couple reasons for that. One, you've got a ton of extra reading to do with all of these leases, and financing is a different situation when it's on lease land. A lot of the banks won't even loan money on lease land. There are a couple, TD and BMO are usually the most liberal when it comes to properties on native land, so that's a good place to start. But your mortgage broker might have to try and get you a mortgage at a number of different places before he actually can, so it'll take longer for your financing. Keep that in mind. Rule number one, though, absolutely without a doubt, talk to your lawyer, sit down with them and review the lease so you know exactly from a legal standpoint what your rights are and what the story is with that property. And don't just sit down with any lawyer. I recommend you sit down with one that specializes in properties on native land. There are a handful of lawyers that I would recommend in town. Not everybody knows everything there is to know about lease land, so go to somebody that does. That's definitely very important. Keep in mind too, I mean, when you're looking at two identical homes, more or less, one's on freehold and one's on leasehold, there'll often be a price difference of $100,000, $200,000, and the reason for that is because your rights as a homeowner are very different. So sometimes it's a great situation, you can get a great house for less money, but it can cost you a lot of money. Some of the leases are prepaid, some of them are you make a monthly lease payment, so lots of ins and outs. They're all different. So sit down with a lawyer. That's important. And if you would like any more information on properties on native land, leasehold properties, or if you'd like me to refer you to a lawyer that specializes in it, just shoot me an email, brendanstoneman@remax.net. Love to hear from you, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care.